Okay, going to Thailand tomorrow, got a new lens. This is the new lens, the Sony 28mm f2 FE lens. How do you like it? Does it look good? Tell me in the comments. Okay, so since I'm going to Thailand tomorrow, I figured I'll make a quick video and maybe, get an upload for the week before I go overseas. Today we'll be talking about the Logitech G602. This is a mouse that I've been using for about 3-4 years at this point, so good build quality. It's battered to hell. I mean, it is worn out. It even lost that battery cap at the bottom. And I've been using it so much, it's basically like a permanent part of my setup. I don't think I can really ever replace it. I absolutely love this mouse. And I don't use it for gaming, I use it for productivity and, work. And here's why you might want to consider it over many other of the more productivity-focused office mice out there. So the G602 is a really good wireless gaming mouse. Well, especially when it came out. Back then, it was actually quite revolutionary because the battery life was claimed to be a couple of weeks and many days, which was very impressive for gaming mice at the time. It also claimed to have a really good optical sensor, which was true. It was a very awesome optical sensor that really no other wireless mice had at that time. So the G602 was quite a bit revolutionary when it first came out. But at this point, it's an old mouse and a lot of wireless options have come out. The G Pro Wireless is a brilliant one. The G305, Razer has a bunch of wireless mice. They're all really good, powerful wireless gaming mice out there. So this isn't really a good choice if you're looking for a gaming wireless mice in particular. But for an office mouse, I think this is still a brilliant option, especially since you can get it for so cheap on Amazon or eBay or basically anywhere, because it's an old aging model. I suspect Logitech is going to discontinue this soon, so you might want to go and buy one if you like what you see in this video. So why did I choose the G602 as an office mouse, even though it's a gaming mouse, over a more dedicated office productivity mouse? I just tried the MX Master yesterday and I've decided that this mouse was better than the other. Well, there are a few reasons for this. Well, the first reason is the G602 has a better grip and design. In my opinion, the G602 is more comfortable than the Logitech MX Master. The MX Master is a bit too angled and sharp and just doesn't fit my hand shape. The G602 has plenty of space for my forefinger and my pinky finger to rest on the right side, or because the MX Master is a bit sharper and angled, it's really uncomfortable for me to put the two fingers here on the right. So if I claw grip, the MX Master might be quite comfortable, but in an office mouse, I always palm grip because I'm looking for a comfortable user experience. So the grip is better on the G602, which is why I liked it better. Of course, grip is very subjective depending on your hand size and how you hold the mouse, but for me, the G602 is more comfortable and you might want to. Another reason why I chose the G602 over the MX Master is because the G602 has an optical sensor with 0 acceleration. Okay, the G602 doesn't have 0 acceleration, but it has very minimal acceleration, especially compared to most of the office productivity mouse out there, like the MX Master with its laser sensor. The MX Master has a capable sensor. It can track on any surface, no problem. It won't even blink an eye when you track on glass. But this G602 sensor would struggle on a surface like glass, and you should probably use it with a mousepad. But the reason why I like the G602 so much is because that accuracy of the sensor when it's used on an appropriate surface like a mousepad is so much better than the one on the MX Master. No, I'm not talking about DPI, I'm talking about the lack of acceleration. And acceleration basically means if you move your mouse faster, the cursor will move faster. If you move the mouse slower, the cursor will move slower. Even if you move the same amount of distance on the mousepad, the cursor will move different distances. This is kind of inconsistent and allows for a very inaccurate and, in my opinion, frustrating user experience when using a mouse. So I don't like laser sensors for that exact reason. Because the G602 was designed as a gaming mouse, there is an optical sensor in there that does a pretty good job of being pretty accurate and not having that much acceleration. This is very useful for me when I want to do video edits and I want to get every single cut precise every single time. So when I slide the mouse that certain amount, I know the cursor will move that certain amount, and that means that I can have more precise use of my computer and I have more precise edits, and I can get stuff done more quickly and more efficiently. Of course, you might like mouse acceleration Most people don't, but software mouse acceleration will always be better than hardware mouse acceleration found on laser sensors like the MX Master's laser sensor that is actually very good for using on glass and tracking on many different surfaces. So there are pros and cons to both technologies, but personally I can't stand acceleration, so I have to get a mouse with an optical sensor like the G602. Another thing is the G602 has many buttons on the left of the mouse. It's got 6 buttons and it's got 2 buttons on the left of the left click, and that is super duper convenient, because if you want to be efficient in a software like Premiere Pro or Photoshop or After Effects or Lightroom, what's important is that you get to know your shortcuts and you have quick access to all the shortcuts available. Having those shortcuts will mean you work faster and you can have a faster turnaround, which is good for making videos or whatever you're making. And having more buttons means you can have more shortcuts, more easily accessible to you. And the G602 has more buttons than the MX Master. The MX Master does have that side scroll wheel though, and a free scroll wheel which can basically spin forever. But personally, I'm not a fan of those two things. Side scroll wheel for me is quite useless. I can just use the arrow keys on my keyboard, and the infinite scroll wheel is a feature I never use on my G502, so I don't see why it would change when I move to an office mouse. So I don't care for those. What I do care for though is more buttons, and the G602 offers just that, meaning I get so much more of a better mouse using experience with it, because those buttons allow me more shortcuts and hence faster turnarounds and more efficiency with my video edits and whatnot. Another thing is the G602 has better clicks than the MX Master. The MX Master does have great clicks, but in my opinion the G602 clicks are better. They're a bit more sharper, a bit more responsive, maybe because it's a gaming mouse. The MX Master might be designed for the office, so the volume of it might be softer just to prevent annoying other people in the office. The G602 doesn't care. Have a listen. It sounds great, it feels great, and I think it sounds and feels a bit better than the MX Master, which is why I like it. Okay, another reason is the G602 has more trackpad at the bottom that lasts longer and feels a bit smoother than the MX Master. The MX Master tracks well, okay, it really does track well, but I feel that the trackpads on the G602 will probably last longer than the MX Master, because you see, I've been using this for 4 years and the trackpad's still, well, it's there and it still works like a dream, which is something important to consider when getting a mouse, obviously. So the reason at the end of the day why I got the G602 over other office mice or other wireless mice, it's because it has all the functions and features I need in one singular package. It gets the job done. There's no other mouse I know on the market that really fits all that I need from it except the G602. For me, it is the perfect mouse, and I think that's a bit important to consider when you get your own gaming mouse or wireless mouse or office mouse. Does it fit your needs? If it doesn't, you might want to look elsewhere and not just blindly follow a review. The G602 is the perfect fit for me. It might be the perfect fit for you. It might not be the perfect fit for you. So you have to consider every single aspect on it, especially if you're getting an expensive mouse that costs $100+. This costs like $30–40 now, and I think it's an awesome deal. So definitely consider it when you're looking for a wireless office mouse or even a wireless casual gaming mouse. It's not going to perform as a really hardcore gaming mouse, but still it gets the job done, and at the end of the day that's what's most important in my personal opinion. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.